Hey guys, welcome back to the What Do You Mean podcast. I'm Monica.
I'm Ty.
I feel like we haven't introduced ourselves in a while. I'm sure you can tell our voices apart, but
maybe we have new people. I don't know.
Hi,
welcome.
All right.
So I was traveling this week and today I came back, and when I was on what do they call that thing that you like walk across to get onto the plane? Is it the jetway?
Something like that.
Somebody's going to be like, you're a dipshit in the comments, and I hope they do. Anyways.
I'll take any comment I can get.
Honestly, yeah. Boost that engagement, baby. But like, we're like waiting for other people to get onto the plane, you know? Mm-hmm. And we're standing there and the whole thing just goes...
Stop.
Like dropped down a little bit, and like, we were like...
Stop. That's scary.
It's also like one of those weird things. You know, airplanes are just weird because it's like...
That's a long drop if that thing fell.
I mean, it wasn't like we dropped. It was like...
A shift.
And we moved like maybe an inch down, you know? But it was enough that you're standing there with a shit ton of strangers and no one's going to say anything, but all of us are like... This is fine. We're great. Everything is great.
I would have been like, did y'all feel that?
It was so weird. And no one addressed it. No, like, workers came by. None of the flight attendants said anything.
Did the plane, like, pull up and kind of, like, whack it or something? Because you know how they have to, like...
Because people were already on the plane. We just weren't yet, you know, because we're not, like, first class.
Maybe somebody, like... dropped a heavy bag or something and it like made it.
Oh, but I don't think it was the plane. I think it was the actual.
No, I'm saying maybe somebody in that thing like dropped a heavy bag and it like shifted.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
That's My spooky. Thought was like some guy driving like one of the baggage trucks like bumped it.
Oh, underneath?
Yeah.
I feel like they're way above the ground though.
Well, but they literally recede and move, you know, like they're on a truck. The jetways are.
Oh.
So like because they like extend and shrink.
It's 2023. You'd think that there's like a more, I don't know, a nicer way to board a plane. Because it's always like when I didn't fly on a plane for the first time until I was 18. And so, like, I didn't know what the whole experience is like, but I just knew it was a very well-known, popular experience. I got on a plane for the first time, and I was like, why did I have to, like, duck to get into the plane? You know, it just feels kind of, like, weird. Like, you shove yourself into this small little doorway, and it's like, that's what everybody's been doing this whole time?
Yeah.
That's how we all enter planes?
A lot of flying feels very old school.
Yeah.
Like, it all feels... like the tech has evolved, but not really. Like not enough.
As long as the planes are evolving, I'm fine. But
yeah, I mean, planes are planes. Like they're still doing what they're supposed to. But I feel like all the other stuff at airports has not evolved that much. Like it all operates the same as it did when we were kids. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't want to think about it too much, though, because I'm actually really scared of planes.
Yeah, you are.
So,
you get stressed on planes.
Because how are they flying?
Aerodynamics. That's the only answer I can give you.
What are aerodynamics?
I mean, it's the study of wind and lift, I guess.
Cool.
Maybe.
I'm still terrified.
Air.
It's also terrifying when you're on a small flight and they're like... all right, everybody, let's spread out so that we can evenly distribute weight. Yeah. I'm like, are we going down?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
If we don't evenly disperse, what happens? You know?
You just start barrel rolling.
Stop. I'm so scared. And like, when people don't spread out enough, I'm looking around like, can somebody check and make sure? Are we far enough apart? Like, I am so paranoid.
Who's like the person with like the Excel spreadsheet? That's
literally. Or who's like measuring.
Yeah.
Or like...
well, like there's really tiny planes that are like 6 or 8 seaters, and they'll like ask you how much you weigh when you get there, or some of them I think you have to step on the scale so that they can make sure that like they evenly distribute the plane and they're gonna have like it's not going to be over a certain weight. Because I remember, I think it was my dad and sister when they flew to Alaska. They flew into like Juneau or something, and then they had to take a tiny plane to this tiny little town in like, I don't know, middle of nowhere, Alaska. And there were like 6 or 8 people on the plane, and they had to do that.
That terrifies me.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I also you couldn't pay me enough to get on a small plane that's not like a commercial airline plane. I'm never getting on. Like the people that are like, oh yeah, I like fly planes. We could fly sometime. I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I would do it.
No, you wouldn't. Not as long as you're married to me.
It's very interesting to me. Like I like that. I would like to experience that, I think,
no.
but it's not something that I would want to do all the time.
Would you like to plummet from the sky because something goes wrong?
I mean, they still have to do safety checks.
People still die all the time in small planes.
For sure. People die all the time in cars.
I know. But like you kind of have to be in a car. You have to drive places. There's no other option.
Yeah.
You don't have to get in a small plane.
Yeah, at this current moment.
This conversation's over. Anyway, we've had a couple of like heftier episodes in a row. I just thought we'd do a fun episode this week. And I don't know how we came up with this one. I mean, it's not like we came up with anything novel, but I don't remember what made us think like, oh, we should do that. But we've like vaguely I think we've had some conversations about this before.
Maybe we saw some TikToks about it, I think.
Probably
recently.
Because it's all over. I see TikToks about this type of thing all the time, but we're going to be talking about the Mandela effect.
Which is honestly one of my favorite things to talk about because it's just crazy.
It is crazy. And I didn't know the definition. I looked it up.
I was going to look it up right now, actually.
Oh, I was just going to read it I already had it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I told you.
Well, I thought you were saying like you had
I told you.
It has a definition of each effect.
Here. So I thought the Mandela effect, it's deeper than I thought. I thought it was just like, oh, you thought something had 2 L's and it had 1 or something, which that can be part of it. But like, there's like an actual definition. So let me find it.
It's like I know people think that it's like a ripple in time and space, like the timeline's crossed.
Yeah.
Like somewhere 2 different time continuums crossed, and now like some people are from a certain era. It's crazy, and I love it because I love weird hypothetical time shit.
There's a definition in here that the New York Times came up with because they made a crossword puzzle.
Okay.
Of Mandela effect things, and they defined it as a recent refinement of false memory that typically refers to pop culture or current event references. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense to me because it's one of those things where everybody's like, wait, I always thought that was this. And it's something that we all know or have heard of.
I don't want to give too many examples since we're going to
don't give an example yet.
But
does that definition sound accurate to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does this article do any of like the history of it?
It talks about the guy.
Nelson Mandela?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's super interesting. Because some people remember him like dying in prison, I think.
Oh, so it's like it originated because...
Like, he got out of prison. Like he was a famed president of South Africa, I'm pretty sure.
I knew it was named after somebody, but I didn't know the story of Nelson Mandela, but I found a picture of him here.
Yeah, he's great.
He looks like somebody.
Is it Morgan Freeman who played him in the movie Invictus?
That's
a great
who
movie.
He looks like.
Yeah, there's a movie about rugby with Matt Damon and Morgan Freeman where Morgan Freeman plays him.
Oh, okay.
It's terrific.
Well, educate us because I don't know a ton about the history of the Mandela effect or like Nelson Mandela.
Okay. I don't know a ton about him, and I watched that movie when I was like 10. So most of my knowledge of Nelson Mandela, I did ask my friend Jacques a little bit about him, but I don't remember a ton. So he was a South African president. I'm reading from an article that we'll link in the show notes. The Mandela effect was first coined in 2009 by someone named Fiona Broom.
That's really recent.
Yeah, it's very recent.
What did people call this phenomenon before then?
I don't know.
Because it existed, I'm sure. We just didn't have a name for it yet.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be one of those things that has like a scientific term, and the Mandela effect is like the common term. Anyways, this person created a website to detail all of her, like, all the things that she sees with that occur with this effect, right? So she was at a conference talking with a bunch of other people about how she remembered the tragedy of the South African president Nelson Mandela's death in a South African prison in the 1980s.
Right. I read that.
She like fully remembered this event in history happening, but he didn't die. He lived until 2013. So as she started talking to other people, she realized like, I'm not the only one
who thought that,
who like legitimately remembers this thing happening.
That's kind of sad for him. He's like, cool.
He's
literally
like, I'm
still
just
alive.
here. My favorite thing is that he was still alive at this point.
I know. So he's like probably seeing rumors of this, and he's like, guys.
Yeah.
Like he literally,
like,
he had to have like come into contact people day to day that knew he was still alive.
I hope he came into contact with people who thought he was dead.
That would have been
like,
so funny.
Holy shit, bro, you're alive?
Or they just think he's someone else entirely.
Yeah.
Dead.
You're like Morgan Freeman?
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, so she was like really surprised that a lot of these people also remembered the same thing. And so it says, encouraged by her book publisher, she began her website to discuss what she called the Mandela effect and other incidents like it. So that was kind of like what spurred it.
That's kind of sad that that's like what it came from. Just like imagine being so forgettable that people think you died and you're still alive for literally like 30 more years.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is like he's a very, very well-known person in like he's a historical, like very important figure for South Africa and for like racism and civil rights movements across the world.
Did they figure out if there's a reason why everybody thought that? Because like I wonder if there's like some sort of tie-in for every part of the Mandela effect. Because I know for like certain branding things, it's like, oh, we all thought that because of the way it was branded.
Right.
But like maybe somebody else died around the time he was there and like people got confused.
Yeah, I don't know. It honestly, I wonder if our other article will go into this.
Maybe.
Because it might list this as one of the things because it's what coined the name. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well, let's just go into some examples because I feel like this will be fun. We haven't looked through this article yet, so I'm curious if like we'll remember these things the same way or if they'll be like, no, I knew that's what it was, you know?
Do you want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
This first one is interesting. What color did you think of chartreuse growing up?
Oh, God.
What color do you think that is?
Is it like an off purple type thing?
Oh my God. It says, do you recall someone telling you that chartreuse is a magenta pink color? So many others agree with you, but in reality, it's a shade of green. I never thought of it as magenta or like purpley.
Between those two, and I wonder if here's my theory. Do you remember in Monsters Inc. when he says "leave the puce"?
Kind of vaguely. I can picture it, but I can't.
He wants to go to Harryhausen's with his girlfriend. He sends Sully to take care of the paperwork. It's great.
Okay.
He says "leave the puce." He doesn't know what the puce is because apparently that's a color, and I think it's like a purplish color.
Okay, so that's
and in my
your
head, like
reasoning
chartreuse and puce are like similar, so maybe
that's interesting to me because I think I've always known what chartreuse was, but if I were to guess another color, it would be like a purpley magenta-y.
Yeah, like I think of it as like kind of a faded.
Why is that?
Kind of purple. I have no idea.
That's
Does it talk about it?
No, it just lists out what they are.
Weird.
It doesn't have explanations because there probably aren't really explanations.
Yeah.
It must there's got to be some science behind it. Maybe something in the spelling of the word, or like certain letters, or like the way it.
I'm also curious how much of this stuff is affected by like the internet.
Yeah.
Or pop culture in general, like movies. If I saw a movie when I was like 7, or just a clip of a movie or something, and I took that as like, oh, that's what happened, because I didn't understand what it was, and then I grew up and was like, wait, what? Chartreuse is green? That's my other theory. This is the first one. My first one's lame. Well, it's not lame.
I think I already saw the first one.
It's Nelson Mandela's death.
Oh.
So.
Okay. Just go to the first.
It's not. It doesn't say anything.
We probably
extra.
won't get through all 25, so just start picking.
Okay, this is interesting. One of the most common peanut butter brands.
That's the one that I saw.
Should I skip it then?
No, it's still valid. I'm curious to know your thoughts.
I've always known it was Jif.
Me too.
It's not
but
Jiffy.
I did think it was like short for Jiffy, or that they maybe rebranded. But we got Jif a lot, so I remember seeing it as Jif. But Jiffy
was our main.
Does sound like a peanut butter brand. So I feel like maybe I've heard people call it that, or I don't know.
We did have an auto shop called Jiffy Lube. And I always thought that was a little weird. But
I get it.
That's beside the point.
Because the phrase like,
you'll be
in
out
a
in
jiffy.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
And
why they gotta call it lube?
I mean, because it's cars. They
got about Jiffy oil change. Don't be weird.
It's gotta be lubricated.
Ew. Okay.
Yeah, that one is interesting that people thought that was Jiffy, but maybe it's just because I grew up eating that. Your turn.
Do you know that the quote from Forrest Gump wasn't actually "Life is like a box of chocolates"?
Hang on, let me see if I can remember it.
It's not anything crazier. It's just one word is different.
Oh, it's "Life's a box of chocolates."
Mm-mm. Life was like a box of chocolates.
Huh. Never know what you're gonna get. That's the second half of the
I know.
quote.
So it doesn't sound like that's right to me. I would think if it wasn't "life is like a box of chocolates," it would be "life is a box of chocolates." Because the part after doesn't make sense. You never know what you're going to get when he says life was like a box of chocolates.
I think it's because he always is saying it in a past tense because it's what his mama used to say.
Oh, maybe.
So that makes sense that because it's like...
I want to fact check that one because it sounds like pull up a clip or something because...
Okay.
What if this article's wrong?
Okay. Hang on.
Forrest Gump. Do you want a chocolate? I could eat about 1.5 million of these. My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Oh.
You never know what you're going to get.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's because he's quoting it in the past tense.
That's a pretty good one then, because I've only ever heard people say life is like a box of chocolates.
Yeah. Because people update it for their current situation, basically.
Yeah.
Which is
so
fair.
It's not even really like a...
Yeah.
But I think because it's so common now, people would just assume that the quote was life is like a box of chocolates. So that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is good.
What's your next one?
This is a good one because I messed this up. How would you spell Looney Tunes?
I know it's a matter of the EY, if it's an E or not, right?
No.
Oh. Is there an E then? An EY?
Yeah.
Okay. Looney, TOONS.
So it's...
Why did you point at me like that? You're wrong. And you're stupid.
Hey.
Anyway. No. Wait. Okay. So I would say LOONEYTOONS.
Right.
Is that what most people think?
That's what most people think because it makes sense because cartoons.
Yeah, Looney Tunes.
But it's tunes like a tune you listen to or sing. So it's TUNES.
Show me. I need to see what it looks like. You're kidding.
So
doesn't that look like how it should be though? The TOONS? Like I swear I've seen that.
For sure. So when I was in high school art, I was obsessed with the Looney Tunes. I would draw them all the time because I wanted to be a artist, like a story artist for Disney. And for an art project, I drew a Looney Tunes one, and it was super cool. And I spelled it TUNES. I got made fun of because I spelled it wrong.
So you knew the right way?
Yeah, I spelled it the right way because I was like looking at books and like reading about the history of the Looney Tunes and Mel Blanc and like all of this stuff. And I spelled it right. And then everyone was like, you messed up how to spell it. It's TOONS because cartoons. And I was like, that makes sense. How did I make such a dumb mistake? And they literally bullied me into thinking I was wrong. And
Did they stick your head in the toilet and give you a swirly?
No.
They take your lunch money?
They didn't.
They dangled you by your ankles so your coins fell out of your pockets?
Yeah, my milk money.
All because you spelled tunes wrong, you loser.
Fucking dumbass. Yeah, I'm feeling very validated now.
Wow.
16-year-old me like feels good.
That's crazy.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That like I opened it while you were reading me the other one, but I read that while you were reading me one of your other ones, and I gasped.
Cool. So, and he wasn't paying attention.
I was like,
pay attention to mine.
I am paying attention.
Okay, I don't believe you. Okay, my next one.
Okay.
You know the phrase from Snow White?
Which one?
Who's the fairest of them all? What comes before that?
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah. So that's not actually the phrase. It says, the wicked queen says, magic mirror on the wall.
Interesting.
And if you think about it, that makes so much more sense.
Yep.
Because why would she say, mirror, mirror?
Yeah.
Why do you need to say it twice?
That is weird.
Yeah.
In
I think
Shrek,
that must be the original Snow White.
Yeah. I bet in Shrek it's mirror, mirror. And that's why we mess it up.
But I think we've just been saying that anyway. Yeah. And that's why in Shrek it was said that way. You know? Crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good one. This is the other one that is like a classic example. How do you spell the Berenstain Bears?
Oh, I've heard of this one before. It's like Berenstain Bears or something with an A.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense because it's pronounced Berenstain.
Right.
So of course you're going to think it's spelled with an E.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a Band Camino song called Berenstain.
I know.
That's all about the Mandela effect.
Another place and time.
That's good. Good job. You did great. This was the one that made me aware of the Mandela effect.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the most popular ones because I've heard of that
on Facebook back in like probably 2010, 2012-ish.
But it's like we all thought that because of the way we pronounce it. So have we all been pronouncing it wrong? And it's actually like Berenstain Bears or Berenstain Bears?
I have no idea. That's a great question.
Much to think about.
Okay,
you know the Black Eyed Peas song Boom Boom Pow?
Uh-huh.
The lyrics, I'm so 2008, you're so 2000 and late.
Yeah.
It's not 2008.
Is it 3008?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I remember that, but I loved that song. I liked the Black Eyed Peas like a little too much. That's actually like a little known Ty Combs fact. It's that like I really liked the Black Eyed Peas from like 7 to 9.
Well, no, this came out in 2009. You were older than that, buddy. You were like 12.
Oh, yeah, I was like 12.
So
that's fair. I had it on my iPod Shuffle. I had Boom Boom Pow and
that's so funny.
I'm a Bee. Remember that?
I'm a Bee.
That song went off. I think I had the censored versions though.
That makes sense.
Classic. Does Curious George have a tail?
I'm going to say no because one would just assume that a monkey has a tail.
Yeah, you
so I'm
would
guess
assume
that he doesn't.
I've never thought about this one, and now that I'm looking at it, I can't tell.
I think he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't have one.
Because I actually distinctly remember like an episode and he's wearing like a rain jacket. And it's very apparent that he doesn't have a tail.
Right, because it would have to stick out or something. Yeah, interesting.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. The famous Star Wars phrase, probably one of the most famous movie lines in history.
Yeah, may the force be with you.
No, the other one.
Okay. Yeah.
Say it.
I know this one because I've seen this one a lot, but it's commonly misquoted as Luke, I am your father, but the line is actually, no, I am your father.
It just says, I am your father.
Yeah.
I always knew that. I've never heard people say, Luke, I am your father. I've just always heard, I am your father. So in my mind, that's just what it was.
Yeah, that's fair.
And to me, that doesn't really throw off I wouldn't hear this and be like, holy, I've been wrong. Like, he just didn't say the name.
Right. Yeah, some of those are weird because they're like in the middle of a conversation in a movie. So same with the Forrest Gump one, like the context of it matters. But I think people say, Luke, I am your father to like tie in like, oh yeah, it's a Star Wars quote, you know? Okay. Next one, very famous HBO show.
Euphoria?
No. Old school. Like 2000s about sex.
Sex in the City. Sex and the City.
Sex and
That's
the
what
city.
I said.
Oh, I thought you said in the city.
No, and I specified because you paused. I know people think it's Sex in the City.
Yeah.
It's Sex and the City.
Yeah. Sex in the City is what everyone thinks it is because that's what they're talking about is having sex in the city. And it also
it rolls off the tongue really fast because I just said Sex in the City. And I said and that time too.
Because we shorten it to fast. Like an apostrophe N.
Yeah.
But
Sex
yeah, it's
in the city.
And.
Yeah.
I would have thought it was in.
Okay. That's fair. I feel like that's a very commonly.
Yeah.
And that one's not like crazy to me because I'm like, yeah, it makes sense that you would think that because.
Right.
I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. This one will only make sense if you've seen the movie Risky Business.
I have not.
Do you know what I'm talking about, though, with Tom Cruise? And there's a very famous scene where he comes sliding into the frame in his socks and a button-down T-shirt. Apparently, there are people who dress up as that character for Halloween. Like, they'll dress up in the shirt, the tube socks,
right,
the microphone, or whatever he's holding. And they'll also wear sunglasses.
Oh, and
he's not wearing sunglasses in the scene. So it's kind of weird that everybody, but I can see why. Like you look at it and you're like, yeah, he could be wearing sunglasses and that would make sense for the scene. But yeah, he's not wearing them in that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I appreciate that one. A lot of mine are all spelling related. Okay. Spell the word Febreze.
I've seen this one before. It only has like one E, doesn't it? Instead
Technically
of
two, but yeah, it doesn't have the double E.
That's nuts to me.
It's crazy to me. I'm sitting here staring at this like, that looks so wrong.
Yeah, because it's Febreze. Like it's a breeze of misty, smell-goody air. It should be... Yeah, that one was weird. I remember seeing that one time and being like, you're kidding.
Wasn't there an ad campaign where there were like 18 E's, though? It was like Febreze.
I don't know. Yeah, see, that's weird.
So I just always assumed there was at least two E's.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
Wild. Okay. This one doesn't land for me because I think it's Harry Potter. Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
It's not Harry Potter. I think it's Lord of the Rings. Wait.
Wait. Is it the...
Who is Gandalf?
Oh my gosh, my love.
It's not Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
it said Harry Potter.
Sweetheart.
Okay, tell me that doesn't look like somebody from Harry Potter.
And I get it.
Right? He looks like it. Yes, he's wearing a freaking cloak. He's got long hair.
I get it.
Okay.
It hurts me. Also, because we still never finished Return of the King. I should say we never even started Return of the King, and I'm still sad about it because it's literally like one of the single best movies made in our lifetime.
Here's the thing, though. I couldn't tell you a single thing that happened in the first ones we saw.
But you agree that they were great.
Did I agree? Or was I just... We had been dating for a month.
We've been dating for a month, so now I want to know if you actually liked them. This is a really sad moment for me. I'm glad we're having this on the podcast.
I'm so sorry.
All right, tell me about Gandalf.
It says, hate to burst your bubble, but this memorable line was never said by Gandalf.
Hang on. What's the first word?
Run. So maybe you know what it is.
Is it fly, you fools?
Mm-hmm. But people apparently say run, you fools.
Oh, yeah, no, it's fly, you fools.
Yeah, and that's what it says, but I guess some people remember it differently.
That makes sense. It's hard to... Okay, so the main reason I remember this one... Sorry, I'm giving like an anecdote for every single one of these, but Fly You Fools, I remember watching it on DVD and my parents were like, what is he saying? And they made us rewind it like 17 times and then also turn on captions. And then we saw that it said Fly You Fools and they were like, what? And so we rewinded it a few more times to really catch it. We did that a lot with those movies.
That's funny.
So... We also did that with Aragorn's age. For the record, he's 87.
Oh, dang.
Still hot as hell, though. God damn.
Okay.
That was a good one. All right, I have my next one for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. It's your turn.
How dare you?
Sorry.
How do you spell Oscar Mayer, like the hot dog company?
Oscar spelled like Oscar. Meyer is Meyer.
Nope. So most people think it's Meyer.
Cool, and I spelled it just wrong anyway.
Yeah.
It's because I thought that it was going to be Meyer, so I thought I had to guess differently.
Everyone thinks it's EY, but it's actually Ayer. It's Oscar Mayer, technically, but...
There's no way.
Yeah.
There is no way.
Like
Show it to me. Show me the branding. What? That can't be right. That doesn't look right.
It doesn't look right at all.
It looks right with the E.
Yep.
That is bizarre.
So weird.
Not a fan of that. Can I skip one that doesn't... I don't think it's going to land.
Is it lame?
I just don't get it.
What is it?
I don't even know what it's from. It says, who is Hannibal Lecter?
I love Hannibal. He's the bad guy in Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
Didn't you see that?
No.
Really?
But... You know I hate that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you would love that movie though. It won all 5 of the big Oscars.
The quote, is it Clarice?
Mm-hmm. Clarice.
It says, hello, Clarice. Does that ring a bell for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it says, the fact that we remember Hannibal Lecter saying, hello, Clarice. Oh, they said, we don't know what's scarier. The fact that we remember Hannibal Lecter saying, hello, Clarice, or the reality that all he said was, good morning.
Wow, yeah.
Did you remember it that way?
No. Well,
it doesn't land for me at all, but
yes and no.
I can see why that would be like, how did I remember it that way?
It's a terrifying scene. She goes to visit him in jail.
I see this. Is that?
I don't think that's actually in the movie, but it
says,
might be.
Oh.
That photo. It might be, but that movie is amazing. We should definitely watch it. Because you would love that movie.
Spooky?
Yeah. She is an FBI agent trying to catch a killer. And so she's consulting him.
Okay.
Because he's a serial killer cannibal who was a psychologist. There's also a TV show called Hannibal that I think we should watch.
Anyway. Okay, your turn.
Okay. How do you spell the brand Skechers?
It's either T or no T.
How would you spell it?
S-K-E... I'm going to say T-C-H-E-R-S.
No T.
And I kind of was leaning the other way, but I keep going against my gut because I think my gut's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With your gut, guys.
Yeah. It actually, looking at it,
I could really see it either way.
More correct with
I'm sure
Skechers,
it does.
Just like how everything has to be spaced.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to ask me to spell Skechers, I might have said a T.
Yeah, because sketch.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
This is funny. And I think I knew this already, but you know the song We Are the Champions?
Mm-hmm.
You know how people sing like...
We are the champions of the world.
Yeah. Of the world isn't there.
Yeah,
but people just add it in.
Are the champions, my friend. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. Da, da, da.
You started so low.
Yeah, I did.
That's it. There's no.
Yeah, because people add of the world, but it doesn't exist. People
Do you guys know you were getting all this talent on this episode?
Lots of singing tonight. Good Lord. All of mine are spelling.
Okay. What is it?
How do you spell Fruit Loops? This is another Looney Tunes situation.
See, my gut thinks it's literally just fruit and loops. But I bet people would say FROOT loops.
You're actually wrong in this one. It is FROOT because they use the Fruit Loops in the logo.
You are kidding. I thought they put it in the loops.
They put them in both. It's in both. See?
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's a good one.
It's hard when you're not looking at it because you have to just try to remember what the branding looked like. Mm-hmm. And so because you can see it, it probably makes sense to you.
I'm like, yeah, sure.
But I'm like, because I'm just seeing fruit, FROOT, that doesn't look right. But when there's actual Fruit Loops for O's, it does look right.
You're like, yeah, that makes sense.
Gosh, I've not gotten any of these right except for Berenstain.
Yeah. You got Jiffy.
Yeah, but I saw it already.
That's true.
Okay. Mr. Rogers' theme song. How would you, the first line?
You're asking the guy that can't remember his own lyrics that he wrote.
It's like a famous quote. It's like,
why am I trying to sing the
don't
Sesame
sing it.
Street
just say
song?
just say the lyrics.
I don't know the lyrics. That's the problem.
It's like a sweat bead.
I'm like, I
don't know.
I turn into that Key and Peele skit where he's just like sweating.
Didn't really land, but I do get
That's
what
fine.
you're saying.
Somebody on the interwaves. What?
They're all like, what are you talking about? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you would think?
Yeah.
It's actually, it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. It says, a small but mighty blow to our memories. That's wild.
Interesting.
I need to hear it.
Because there's a movie called A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
With Tom Hanks. I know. That's why it says, especially after seeing the 2019 Tom Hanks film, you might start singing it that way. But that's not how it is.
Interesting. Huh.
Are you pulling it up? Or were you just...
I just was looking at what the name of that one was.
Okay.
This is so niche. King Henry VIII.
I'm not going to know this, but
Me neither. This is a famous painting of King Henry VIII that for some reason people distinctly remember him holding a turkey leg in the painting.
And he's not?
And he's not.
Is he holding anything?
He has a knife in one hand, and then like I guess people think that he was like holding a turkey leg in the other.
Can I see it?
This is a weird one because he's holding the knife like sheath. It's weird because they show two different pictures that are kind of the same but kind of not.
Why would they have thought that?
This is like the sheath for the dagger, but I think people think that it's like a turkey leg, or they thought it was a turkey leg. Like,
interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
Kind of a weird one, but cool. Oh, this is a good one. I love this one. Sorry.
Okay.
Your turn.
The number of United States.
It's 50.
Yeah. Did you ever learn growing up that there were 51 or 52?
No.
Like technically?
No. Because they're not official states. Puerto Rico.
But did anybody ever tell you that?
No.
I feel like someone told me that growing up. And honestly, that could have led to my current confusion about
that's understandable.
Geography and America. But apparently it's like a thing that some people recall learning that there were 51 or 52 states.
I mean, for a long time, there was talk of Puerto Rico becoming an official state, I think. Mm-hmm. And so some people were like, oh, like maybe eventually we'll have 51, but who knows? So this is a good one.
Why don't we just do a few more?
Okay, great. You know the guy, the little like character from Monopoly? Mm-hmm. What is he wearing?
Like a top hat and a little suit.
Okay.
Doesn't he have like a monocle?
He does not. But most people remember him having a monocle.
What?
Yeah.
What? I'm picturing something that wears one though. No, he is wearing one.
He does
wear
have
one.
a monocle.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. He does not have a monocle.
You know that TikTok audio right now that's trending that's like, shut up, it is not. No, it's not. It's like me this entire episode.
Yeah.
It looks more normal with the monocle. Okay, does the Pringles guy wear one?
Maybe. I also
You know
think
what I'm
the
thinking?
peanut guy does.
Yeah, a lot of things do. So I wonder if that's where I'm getting
I
it
also
from.
think the Six Flags guy,
Don't know what that is.
the amusement park.
There's a guy?
Yeah.
That's weird.
What was the other one we said? Pringles Man.
Pringles?
Pringles Man does not have a...
Why do I think that?
I have no idea.
Okay, here's another question. Does Pinocchio, the little Jiminy Cricket guy, you wear one?
Oh, I think he does.
I'm thinking of all those little characters with like the white faces, and maybe I'm mixing them all up, you know?
Jiminy Cricket doesn't have one,
What the heck?
but he does at some point in the movie pull out some little spectacles, I think. Like some little glasses, maybe?
It's so weird what your brain like latches onto, because I haven't seen that in so long.
I love that movie.
I know you do.
It's so weird.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. The bear that says only you can prevent wildfires.
Smokey.
What do you call him?
Smokey Bear.
Smokey the Bear.
I was gonna say that and I didn't. Wait, why? Do people call him Smokey Bear?
But it's Smokey the Bear.
Oh. That's
Who really
interesting
cares?
because
But
I
yeah,
did it. I
like-
pulled a U where I went against my gut because I thought it was gonna
Just
try and trick
Smokey
me.
Bear, yeah.
I wonder if that has any correlation to Yogi Bear. But Smokey the Bear was an actual bear that they found and rescued from a wildfire, I believe. That's some fun Colorado trivia for you. This one might not land for you.
When he thinks you're stupid.
No, this is just nerdier.
Okay.
Pikachu from Pokemon, little yellow guy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember anything about his tail?
Like how it looked?
Yeah.
His little triangle looking tail?
Yeah, it's
Pointy?
more of a lightning bolt.
Oh.
But a lot of people remember it with like a black squiggly at the back.
Oh, kind of like
Kind of
his
like
name?
Charlie Brown, except for like then after that, the whole rest of it is black.
okay.
But in reality, it's just a yellow tail the whole way.
Okay.
That's interesting because I would have thought it had the black on it. I actually think I used to draw pictures of Pikachu with that
Weird.
on it.
When do you think Billy Graham died?
That was pretty recent. It's only the past like 5 years, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, he died in 2018.
Yeah.
I'm one of the ones that thought he died forever ago.
No,
I
yeah.
knew that wasn't true, but I remember anytime Billy Graham would be referenced, I'd be like, is he dead or not? Like I couldn't remember.
Right,
And then when
right.
he officially died, I was like, damn, he must have been like 500 years old. Because you just like, I
Yeah.
heard about him all the time growing up.
Yeah,
And so just
yeah,
the fact that he was alive that whole time, I think it was just like confusing.
I think he retired. Like he wasn't running the Billy Graham Foundation anymore, but he wasn't. But he was alive. I also was a missionary when he died, so that was like a way more prominent event. Yeah, Kit Kat, the branding.
What about it? It's like red.
Is it all one word or does it have a hyphen? That's a little misleading. Does it have a hyphen or not?
No.
You're right.
Thank God.
It
I'm gonna let
doesn't
this
have
whole
a,
episode go by and getting every single one wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't have it, but it looks like it should.
Does it? Show me. Mm-hmm. I can't picture it having one. No, yeah, I would have guessed the one without it, but it does. I mean, it could work either way. It
Yeah.
looks good either way.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay.
Also, there's just a banner on the side of this page that's just Jared Leto Gucci ad for like the past hour.
Okay, this is a good one. You've been to Disney World, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's like the general location of the Disney World castle?
Magic Kingdom.
Right. But like, where? Do you see it like soon? Do you see it?
People think you do, but you have to like walk through it a little ways. You have to walk in the gates, and you go, and then you have to turn left down Main Street, and then you go for a ways, and it's at the end of Main Street.
Yeah, see, in my mind,
and like over a bridge.
I've only been to Disney World 3 times in my life. And the first time I was like 2, don't remember it. Second time I was like 15. Third time I was 19. And still, even though I went most recently like 5 years ago or a little bit more, I remember it being right when we enter.
Yeah,
Well, I picture it being you walk in
and
then
Main
you walk
Street
straight down
there.
Main Street.
Yeah.
And then the castle.
It is kind of weird because you have to walk in for a little ways. Now, Disneyland, it's less walking before you get to the castle. It's also not nearly as big of a castle. And everything is just like a little bit more compact because you're in the middle of Anaheim.
You know what else? This is unrelated, but it's like kind of crazy. Have you heard that TikTok audio that's like, everything's always connected, blah, 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 blah. And it's like people will write out stories of how like they took a photo and their future husband was in it and they didn't know them yet or whatever. And it's just like, and like I saw this one, a girl said like, my grandma gave me these earrings and I lost one. And I went on a trip to Alaska and I found it in a gas station parking lot. And she had the 2 earrings together and it was the exact same earring.
What on earth?
Yeah, like just crazy things like that. But that's, anyway, I was just thinking like the fact that we grew up so far away from each other, but we both went to Disney World. What if we were ever at Disney World at the same time?
Sorry, I know you just said what ages did you go?
2 at one time.
Okay.
And then I was 14 or 15, not at the same time.
Yeah, we never went at the same time.
Isn't that crazy though? Like, so that's probably the case for so many people. I think I've actually read that before. Like somebody had a photo at Disney World. Their like future spouse was walking in the background.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
I love that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because I went when I was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
And then again for my 18. I was probably 19.
That could have been around the same time. No, I went in June or July.
I went in August of 16.
Wait.
Yeah, because it was after I graduated.
Me too.
Yeah, it was in
after.
August.
It was like right before I would have started freshman year of college.
Yeah, it was right before I went to Australia.
Let me see when I went.
This would be fun.
I'm going to look it up.
Oh, my phone is over there. Otherwise,
I know I have photos.
Yeah, I do too.
Hold on. Oh my gosh. Like I know they're on Facebook.
Oh yeah, mine are too actually.
Like your mom has probably posted them or something.
Well, no.
Okay.
My mom wasn't on that trip, but I swear to God, if we find photos of us before we ever met, I am going to lose my mind and we're ending the podcast.
No,
right then.
I went in June.
Damn.
2016. Late June though. It was June 22nd or June 21st and 22nd, 2016.
I'm trying to like look at these. How do you? Those are photos, but they're like.
We stayed at a Gaylord hotel. It was kind of dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like forgot about it.
August 7th, 2016.
We just missed each other. Isn't that crazy that we were probably planning these Disney trips at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
And we like just missed each other by a few weeks. Wow, that's weird.
That's crazy.
Whew. Anyway.
Oh, this is another Disney World one.
Okay.
There's not really a question I can ask with this one. Contrary to popular... For the record, it says contrary to populate belief in this article, so they messed up too.
Okay.
Contrary to popular belief, there is only one Cinderella castle, and it's in Walt Disney World in Florida.
Did you think there was one at Disneyland?
Yeah.
Are you sure there is one?
I'm pretty damn sure.
Look it up.
The blue and pink castle in California's Disneyland is Sleeping Beauties.
Oh, so they're just for different
Being
princesses.
blue and pink,
look it
though.
Up.
Wow. Okay. I mean,
that's nuts. Did you look it up?
Sleeping Beauty Castle. It is blue and pink. Oh my God.
Did you not remember it that way? Show me.
Now that I see the photo of it, I'm like, yeah, 100%. That's what it is. But yeah, I didn't think about it like that.
Show me. Oh, okay. It
That's
doesn't
the
look as
one.
magical.
It's not. I mean, it was built way longer ago.
Oh. I feel like I
And
would
it's
be
just
unimpressed by Disneyland.
It's
compared to
still
Disney
amazing.
World.
I
I don't ride things though.
Yeah,
I go for the
that's true.
experience of like just being in Disney World.
Yeah. It's still crazy impressive because Disney World, like you kind of have to drive to get to it. Mm-hmm. Right? Disneyland is literally in the center of a city and you can't see outside of Disneyland.
Weird.
Every time, like everywhere in the park, all you see is Disney.
Wow, it's magic.
It's so cool. Even like the Tower of Terror ride, if you can see it, you
Isn't
can only see it
that a Universal
from
Studios thing?
Tower of Terror?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, it is. Is there
No.
more than one Tower of Terror ride? Because that's in Florida.
Yeah, at Disney World.
At Universal.
No.
Yes.
I think that might be Tower of Doom.
Look it up.
Okay, I'm right.
I don't think you are.
Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror, Walt Disney World. It's based on the Twilight Zone. It's amazing.
I'm shook at that.
So in Disneyland, it's no longer Tower of Terror. It's now the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, but it's Tower of Terror. It's my sister's absolute favorite ride.
Couldn't be me.
Unfortunately,
You couldn't pay me. I wouldn't ride that for $1 million.
it's so great. I love
No.
that ride.
No.
It's the best.
I have held many a purse for people going on that ride.
The best, so similar to what you're saying, the best part of that ride is not the ride.
Waiting for the ride.
It's like the immersiveness of going through the line and like all the stuff before the ride actually starts is so fun because it's all like an
Here's
old
the thing. Tower
Twilight
of Terror
Zone
is my
episode.
biggest fear.
Just a falling elevator.
Why? Do you sit for it?
Yeah. You're strapped in
And you
because
just
you can't.
fall? No.
Well, yeah, it's like
No.
it's randomized too, so you never know how far or when the falls are going to happen.
Oh my God. I would
It changes
throw up.
every single time.
Do people throw up?
I'm sure they do. I've never had it happen.
That's my least favorite feeling in the world is the feeling of my stomach dropping. Oh my God, I hate that feeling so much.
That's really funny.
Is that actually what that feeling is? What is that? Does your stomach actually move in your body?
I don't know. I think it's like the kick of like your body realizing it's in free fall. Like it's like, oh,
Weird. I want to look up this.
it's like the
science
loss
that.
of gravity. It's like when you
But
wake
there is
up.
gravity. That's what it is. It's gravity.
Yeah, but you
pulling.
become weightless basically because yes, you're falling, but you're like that's the thing is that you don't have any.
We're gonna have to look into that later. 'Cause I don't know if
I mean, that's how they shoot like space scenes is they in movies is they do the what do they call it? The vomit comet where they take a plane up super high and then they drop it.
Okay.
And so everything looks like they're floating because
I think you're doing the thing again where you also don't fully know the answer, but you start to say something that makes a little bit of sense to you, and then you finish it out with confidence when you're not entirely sure if what you're saying is actually accurate.
You're right. Well, because you're right. Gravity is still in effect. But
I'm saying, though, you feel it in your stomach. So to me, that's like, it's a brain response if it's like, oh, your body like realizes that it's falling.
yeah.
But if it's just a physical response, is your stomach actually moving?
Oh, I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I would think it is a brain or neurological response and
makes
not a
sense.
physical response.
But it has to be a physical response too, because there's literally a physical thing happening. There's going to be some effect to that.
I mean, I think it's a neurological response that has a physical implication.
What are you saying?
I think your brain
Let's just look it up after this.
I think your brain responds and causes your body to have a reaction.
How come it's only your stomach though?
Don't know. Well, but if it was more than your stomach, you would feel it, right?
What?
Why do you only feel it in your stomach? That's what I'm asking.
That's what I'm asking too.
Glad we're on the same page.
You're so annoying. Makes it so difficult just to finally get back around to the fact that we are on the same page.
We're
asking the same question. You're just making it so hard.
I was trying to help. Apparently I didn't.
Oh my gosh. I'll just Google it.
Should we call it a day?
Yeah, I feel like
Mandela effect.
That's enough Mandela effect for one day.
We're Mandela'd out. R.I.P.
And we need to go to Disney World.
All right, bet.
This was fun. I was actually shook by some of those.
Yeah. So sorry.
I just literally shut his computer. He was like, well, we're done.
I was like, all right, that's a day.
Everything just went silent.
Just cut
we're
the
Mandela
recording.
out.
Yeah.
This was fun.
This was fun. I liked this episode.
I'm curious if other people were like shook by these or if they were not. Let us know your favorite Mandela effect scenario.
Yeah, and if we didn't hit one, like, let us know what your favorite one is that we didn't hit.
Yeah, because these like make my head spin.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a follow-up with if people give us good ones.
Mandela effect part 2.
Yeah.
You remembered it wrong.
Even more Mandelas.
All right,
it's just Mandela spelled with 2 L's this time.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if we just named it that and it was wrong? I wonder if people would get it that we were trying to be funny, if they would be like, you guys are so stupid.
It's just, they
see it and they're like, I'm not even going to watch or listen to this because it's embarrassing that you thought it was spelled that way. Anywho, really if you enjoyed this podcast, we would love if you'd leave us a rating or review wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow us on Instagram at WDYM Pod or TikTok at WDYM Podcast.
Or YouTube at WDYM Pod as well.
And you can follow our personal Instagrams and TikToks as well. Those will be in the show notes. That's all I got. What else?
I think that's pretty much it. We'll catch you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.